DJ Semtex, One Extra. Right now, I'm with a legend. I'm with someone who's been responsible for changing the face of hip-hop. My man, Ice Cube, what's going on, man?
What's up with you? How you feeling?
This is one of those I'm not worthy moments.
Of course you are, man. We family, so you're always worthy.
Hey, but for people, in case they've been in the rock, or for someone who's new, just come into the game, how important were N.W.A?
I think far as for artists, that N.W.A made it okay for artists to be themselves truly and come out exactly how they want to present themselves. Before N.W.A, and, you know, we're not the first group or the first people to break these barriers. You know, they were broken by people like Red Fox and people like Richard Pryor and even Eddie Murphy and even Muhammad Ali, you know, did a lot for what's called swagger today. You know what I mean? He embodied it, you know, and I consider him really the first professional rapper was Muhammad Ali, because he like embodied what a MC wants to be, you know. Tell you I kick your ass and I could do it, you know? So, that being said, what N.W.A did was bring everything really as far as music-wise and bring that raw, you could be yourself. You don't have to be squeaky clean like the squeaky clean guys. And you could still be just as famous or even bigger than the squeaky clean guys. So that opens up a door for other artists to say, yo, I don't want to fake the funk. Right. I don't want to put on a mask. I want to be myself. They got to accept me for who I am. And you come out yourself. And I think N.W.A did a lot to open that door.
When you came out, you had Public Enemy, who they were on their own angle with what they were doing and the message that they were talking about. You had a lot of hip-hop that was very nice. You had some hip-hop which was, like, corny. Like, what gave you guys the confidence to just do something totally different? Because the message that you guys were putting out there, it's pretty raw. To this day, there's not many artists that really go there like you did back then.
Yeah. What it was my favorite MCs were like Melly Mel, and
he was important, right?
Yeah, because he spoke the real. You know, it wasn't just about, you know, my DJ and, you know, rock the party, you know, them kind of raps. He was talking about, you know, broken glass everywhere. You know, people pissing on the stage, you know, they just don't care. So that used to spark, you know, just emotions in me, you know, hearing that kind of rap. Hearing Run DMC sing Hard Times. It's like that. That's the way it is. These are the rhymes that inspired me. And then you have KRS-One and Chuck D and Rakim and, you know, intelligent MCs, you know, who really told people what the real was, gave people the history you couldn't get in the history books. So these are my favorite MCs of all time. Ice-T. So, like, I knew when, you know, that I didn't just want to rap. Right. You know what I mean? I wanted to, you know, tell the real, tell it how I saw it, not bite my tongue, and, you know, use my time wisely on the mic.
Strength for street knowledge.
Yes.
You did a track called F the Police,
mm-hmm.
and many people have covered it. J.D. did a version, J Dilla, Bone Thugs covered it, and, you know, other people have done that. No one's, you know, at the time Ice-T did something similar, but no one's really been that blatant in terms of condemning and criticizing the establishment like that. And given that you've got many more black millionaires, billionaires, and black president, why has nothing changed? Because when you see the film and you hear the track again, it's like, and you see what's going on in the news, it's...
You know, systematic racism is hard to defeat. It's it becomes, you know, the fabric of everyday life in a lot of ways. And so, you know, it's hard for one man, even if he's the president, to unravel that kind of racism that's been around for centuries. So, you know, it's like we didn't get into this place overnight, so it's no way to get out of it overnight. You know, you have to change the minds of generations. And basically, certain generations gotta die out. You know, and that poison in them hopefully dies with them. And, you know, the newer generation hopefully will have more understanding with each other because they're exposed to each other more. And, you know, we keep working at it and keep, you know, pushing that rock up the hill. So, you know, don't be surprised, you know what I mean? What you got to do is figure out, well, how can I push back against it and do it in your own way? And that makes a difference, you know. The police, it's like, it made a difference because now police are scrutinized just as much as criminals. You know, if they do something, they get public shame too, just like the criminals. And before N.W.A, that didn't happen. Not enough. You know, not at a rate that is, you know, even today, we only see what we see. We don't see all the abuse that's still going on that we don't get on video. There is no dash cam, there is no body cam, or there is nobody filming it with a phone. So it's still so many pockets of abuse all through every nation. And people are getting tired of it.
You in N.W.A. It's one of the most successful groups of all time. On top of the world. I seen an interview with Jerry Heller, and he was talking about at one point making $10 million a month or something with a staff of 6. How do you walk away from that? Because you left it and you went solo and you recorded an album on totally the opposite side of the coast. Like I can't imagine how you could do that.
You know, it's like I knew if I stayed, you know, I'd be there, but a piece of my manhood would be gone because I know that I wasn't being fairly compensated for my contribution. So it was easy from that standpoint because I wanted to leave the industry intact. I don't want to leave a piece of myself in the industry. I don't want to do stuff that I'm ashamed of and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather be me. So from that standpoint, it was easy. It was hard, you know, walking away from all that money, you know, because he did offer me $75,000 at the time I walked away. But he wouldn't give me my contract so I could take it and get it, you know, looked at by somebody who was on my side. So I felt like he was trying to be crooked.
Right.
So he probably owed me more than $75,000, you know. So that's why it was easy to walk away. And, you know, it's like I have no regrets, you know, never did.
Okay. What was it like, though, when you know, because you came up together. I'm just going off watching the film because the film really gives you a totally different perspective from growing up and listening to the music. So you're in N.W.A, you see the come up, it looks cool the way, you know, you guys are touring together and everything else, developing the music, you're writing the lyrics. What was it like, though, getting into beef with Easy and Dre, people that you came through with who were like your brothers?
I hated it. You know, it just didn't feel good. I thought we could still be homies even though we couldn't do business together, and that just wasn't the case. It was, you know, a lot of animosity there from both sides, you know. So, you know, it got, you know, ugly, You know, it got physical, and it got worked out. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, when you really love somebody, sometimes you get into it with them, you know, but always leave that door open to be able to make amends at some point. And you do if you really, really, you know, care about that person or care about, you know, the situation. But, you know, it takes time. And it was not fun. Wasn't fun.
What's your relationship like with Dr. Dre today?
It's great. You know, there's a lot of respect there because, you know, I've done a lot, you know, with and without him, and he's done a lot with and without me. So we respect each other as, you know, very strong players in the game. You know what I mean? And we love to work together whenever we can, you know, but it seemed like we work together when the project is totally right for both of us. And, you know, I still, you know, respect him, and, you know, he's the only one that I would let produce me without questioning. You know what I mean? So I think it's a relationship that I expect it to be at this point, you know. Do we hang out and go on vacation together? You know, not yet. But, you know, we've done something special with this movie, just like we did something special with the record. And we got a long life to live, so you never know how close we could get again after this record. But it's not because we don't want to. It's just because we two grown businessmen with families and not a lot of time to hang out. I mean, I'm just not a good friend anyway because I just don't have time to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I love people to death, and I'm always the same every time I see you. I'm going to be the same, but I might not call. You might not see me for months, weeks. But that's cool, you know. I ain't lost no love for nobody who ain't lost love for me, so that's kind of how it is.
Came hard on the track Issues, like from, you know, the Compton album. What was it like going in the studio again and, you know, working with Dre?
Great. It's always a treat, you know. For anybody, ask anybody, they love and cherish every minute they're in that studio because, you know, you with a master. You with a master, and everything he doing, you trying to absorb. So when you leave and go to your studio, you can, you know, EQ things maybe a little like Dr. Dre, because, you know, he just gets the best out of the equipment.
You came on my show years ago. It might have been like 8-10 years ago, and we talked about the possibility of an N.W.A. film, and you were like, yo, I'd love to do that. Now you've done it. Like, how's it feel now? Like, it's on the big screen. You got generations that, you know, are watching that.
Man, it feels like I've won the World Cup or the Super Bowl or any of them big-time things that you work your whole life to win. It feels like that I've done that. I'm so thankful just to get the movie done. You know, I was so happy just to get it done, regardless how much it made and regardless if people liked it. You know, it was like that was an accomplishment. But to see that people love the movie as much as I do and that they are coming out to see it, you know, even it's only been out 6 days in the States, but there's some people that have seen it 3 times already, you know, so it's one of those movies. And that right there is, you know, for any artist, it's nothing like being hot in the streets. You know what I mean? It's no better feeling. That's what we all addicted to. It's this feeling right here, having something that's hot in the streets that everybody love. And it's nothing like that feeling. And I'm going to just ride this wave as long as it lasts and enjoy it, and then get back on the grind for the next project to hopefully do something people like again.
You killed it in the music industry. You killed it in Hollywood. You've had your own lane several times, and you know, years later, #1 film, #1 album, on top of the game again, making it look easy again. But you've also
It ain't easy. Keep going.
but you've also seen the very negative aspects, and you've seen, you know, some tragedies along the way, and the whole beef issue and what happens with artists like Drake and Meek Mill. You know, the beef gets fueled online, social networks and media outlets and everything else. What would you say to people who are coming through, like, and some kind of advice or guidance that can avoid, where people can avoid maybe some mistakes that guys around you did when you was coming through?
Yeah, man, you know, it's like beefs are fun, you know, for the audience. It's good for hip hop. You know, it's like watching a heavyweight fight. You know what I mean? As long as they keep it on wax, it's hip hop. The minute it goes to the street, it's street. It ain't hip hop no more. Even if b-boys are doing it. The minute it goes to the street and gets physical is the minute it's no longer hip hop and is reduced back to a street fight like you would see at a bar or, you know, road rage or whatever. It's just reduced to that. So if you keep it art, it's fun. It's larger than life. When you take it to the street, it's down to the gutter. See what I mean? So, and also, you got to be careful when you beef in public. When you beefing with somebody in public, you have to be careful because another outside force could hurt one of you guys. And you know who's going to get blamed? See, if something happens to Drake, they going to blame Meek. Right. Straight up. Something happens to Meek, they going to blame Drake because their beef is public. And, you know, this is how, you know, they killed Malcolm X because he had a public beef with the Nation of Islam, and outside forces took advantage of that. And now everybody think, you know, it was the Nation. And, you know, Tupac and Biggie, they had a beef. Everybody think Biggie killed Tupac and Tupac killed Biggie, but neither one killed each other. But since they were beefing, they're always linked. But Tupac's death is a totally different circumstance than Biggie's death. But they're linked together because their beef was public. So you have to be careful when you beef in public.
Yo, Ice Cube, man, thank you very much.
No problem.
As always, we'll see you in the next game-changing event.
Cool. I hope I'm here for that.
Sure you will be. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks.